Hi, I'm Matt.
I'm Zach.
I'm in.
And we're the Straws.
Okay, so
Minus one.
Minus Duncan, yeah.
what do you define as integrity within the music industry, regardless of what genre it is?
Does that go?
You go.
Okay, well, integrity in the music industry to me means like, are your ideas your ideas? You know, like, are you just copying somebody else's work blindly and just going through and doing the same thing as everybody else, or is what you record, is that really you? You know, being real and human is kind of integrity in the music industry.
An example that comes to mind is the post-hardcore movement, because a lot of the metal bands out there will just kind of, you know, follow the same chugs and heavy breakdowns as the other metal bands without adding in any of their own flavor or creativity.
Do you guys feel that the alternative, I mean like all genres that we don't hear about these days, has overall disappeared, or has it like retreated into the indie scene instead?
I'd say a little bit of both. Like, there's countless genres that are just kind of, you know, going more and more underground, and then, you know, people think underground is cool, so then they go mainstream, and it's just weird, like, roller coaster of what's in and what's not. So it really matters like what fads are in society. So I think that genres are going back, dying, being brought back, and kind of going, seeping through the cracks, if you will, of like people's conceptual skills.
That was poetic.
The indie scene's kind of like become mainstream, like almost pop now. It's really weird.
Because like,
It's like the whole
indie
hipster thing is like, it's mainstream hipster, and that goes against being a hipster, so.
like, because indie used to mean like, you know, independent, and it was independent artists, but there's signed indie bands, which is an oxymoron because like, you can't be independent if you're signed.
So indie's now like a style.
Yeah, it's a style of music instead of
being independent.
Yeah.
So like what band would be an example of that oxymoron?
Just signed independent.
The Head and Heart.
They are signed.
They are.
They are signed and considered indie. Of Monsters and Men, would they be kind of? No, they're not.
I don't know. See, that's another thing.
Vampire
like, indie's
Weekend.
kind of a hard thing to like.
Vampire Weekend, they're
Vampire
indie.
Weekend.
Considered indie but signed.
And indie's kind of a hard one to wrap your mind around because it's not really a thing anymore. It's just kind of.
It's a huge like.
Nobody even knows what it is.
It's a huge envelope that tons of bands just get tossed into.
Yeah.
Do you think the music industry has turned into a money-making business? By that said, do you feel that some of these mainstream artists and big-name recording studios lose the appreciation for music?
I think, well, in general, because it's an industry, it's money making anyways. But I think lately it's kind of lost like a lot of the art to it, and it's just become like how can we get these people to buy these songs so that we can make more money?
How can we get the hottest boys to play the most cookie cutter music?
Yeah.
So everybody will buy it.
Yeah, it's just like. So I mean, it's gonna be like about money, at least a little bit, but I think for a lot of popular styles of music, it's just become like completely
Yeah, I think it's always really been about money. Like, whether you want to admit it or not. Artists aren't necessarily, you know, making art for money. Like, a lot of that's the point of art. It's like, it's autonomy. You're doing it because you love to do it and want to do it. But the business side of that and the like record label side of that, not to say all record labels are bad, but record labels, like, they're a business. Like, they're meant to make money, so.
And this goes back, like, even the Beatles, like, before, when they first started, they were controlled for money until they got big enough to control their own careers and start writing really weird stuff.
Social media played a big role on what the dominant genres are.
I agree.
Yeah, I think it has. Do you agree to a question?
Okay.
I think social media has affected what genres are, what are the in genres and what are the uncool genres, because like you know, the more popular a high schooler is, the more followers they'll have, more friends on Facebook they'll have, and then they'll share a band that they think is cool, and then everybody else will think it's cool
Yeah.
to be cool like them, and then bands just become fads instead of art.
Plus, the radio stations nowadays are pretty much run by, it's not like the most popular song, it's the people who pay the most money to get their song on the radio. So that's why you'll find like all these pop stars who like nobody actually really likes that much. They're just
Overplayed.
just get overplayed, and then everybody has to like them.
Yeah.
Well, do you guys think that the main reason people conform to mainstream artists is because they know of the large fan base, and knowing the fan base allows them a guarantee for quote unquote quality music?
I think so. At least,
Like the
Like-
bandwagon.
yeah, it's a temptation. Like we were in another band that was metal, and like I'm not bashing metal. There's some metal bands that I absolutely adore, but you know, for the most part, it's a lot of, you know, generic stuff. It's not really art anymore. But I think it's kind of a temptation to just hop on the bandwagon because you know everybody's gonna like it. Like we know certain people that have like come to our recent shows, like with this band that doesn't really play any metal stuff, and all they listen to is metal, and so they're just completely not open to anything else. They're just like
Literally just because it's not metal. Yeah. that's
not because of the music, just because it's not a certain kind of music. And with our old band, we kind of just jumped on the metal bandwagon because, I mean, we all liked it. I still like it, but it's just kind of the easy thing to do because the metal formula is just too easy. Heavy chorus, clean vocals, heavy verse, clean vocals, chorus, heavy verse, breakdown, clean vocals, chorus, end. Like it's just a written formula that every metal band's been doing.
Yeah.
Modern metal, that is.
I think like some like record labels and just the industry in general just have forced bands to almost like have to be a little bit generic because they know like record labels are gonna invest in bands that they think will make money, and if they are changing up everything, they're not really gonna want to have it good.
Do you think mainstream artists or music creators actually appreciate the fan base? What do you guys appreciate the most? Fan base, money, or fame?
For me, it all goes hand in hand. Like, I'm not really experienced enough to say what means more to me, but I would hope that fan base is a priority in my eyes. I think that a lot of artists in like generic music that's, you know, just so big that it doesn't really matter who the fans are. I think they like to say that they appreciate their fans, but I don't know if they actually know what having fans means because they're playing generic music. Because if you're playing something experimental and obscure and you have fans, that means a lot, because that means people are digging all this crazy new stuff you're putting out. If you're putting out the same old thing that the other 10 bands before you are putting out, then the fans are just going to assimilate to your, you know, cookie cutter genre. So I think fans mean more to experimental bands.
Your vocabulary is getting me all hot and bothered.
What do you think has to be done in order for all the other genres that no one really listens to, and independent scene to come back?
This one. I think kids should start going to not obviously if they suck, but you should start visiting more like local concerts and stuff. Go have fun with your friends, enjoy a music scene. That's what brought the grunge movement so big, is because they had a sense of community and identity with themselves in Seattle, and so it was like a family. It wasn't just like a product. They knew the people playing in the bands, and they knew each other. They knew who was going to the concert, and that's kind of
And there was a message behind it.
exactly.
Yeah.
And so I think in that, local music scenes will rise up with the support of themselves.
Yeah, and I mean, like, metal that has, we keep coming back to like post-hardcore and metal just because it's kind of a nice contrast. It has a message, but its message is being overplayed, and people are still into it, which is a red flag because it tells you that people aren't listening to the music for a message anymore. They're listening to it just because. Because their friends listen to it and their friends before them have listened to it, and it's just this enormous fad. And I think the message is genuine behind it, but like sometimes you gotta hear something new.
Music's cool.
Yeah. I guess all I want to say is music is a form of expression and art, and it shouldn't like art when you're painting, for example. The goal isn't to paint the Mona Lisa. It's to paint your own version of it. It's to be creative and do something that reflects you, not somebody else's ideas and work.
And if you're painting something, you should be thinking, how can I paint this in a way that people will buy it?
Yeah.
It's real. It's real.
And I think music is getting away from that, but it should get back to the point, because it's an art form, and it should be all about personal expression.
But on the other hand, that doesn't mean that you can suck and just be like, well,
Yeah.
it's art.
It's art. No.
It's art.
That's not what I'm getting
I'm
at.
gonna put a red dot on this canvas, and people are gonna buy it.
Yeah, there's
It's like at least to express some skill. And like,
there's selling out and extreme expression, and then somewhere in the middle is what music should be. It's like Obi-Wan said in Revenge of the Sith. Yeah. When he's fighting Anakin on Mustafar, he's like they're like locking lightsabers. No, they're not locking lightsabers. It's when they're like on opposite sides of the lava river, and he's like, only a Sith deals in absolutes. I will do what I must. But anyways, yeah, like, don't deal in absolutes. Just find that moderation. Alright. Outro.
Explosions.
Thank you for the opportunity.
Yeah, no problem.